Morning. Well, after a little fishing, a little windy out here. Water went and got choppy on me, so I figured I'd take the time to explain how I ended up with the inherited conversation, not landing in my lap, but landing on top of my head like a ton of bricks. My mother, not unexpectedly, short of her 80th birthday, passed away 3 Memorial Days ago, a little over 3 years ago. And about 3 or 4 months after she passed away, would have been about August, I found myself standing out in my driveway looking at my life, looking at all the if onlys. You know the if onlys. If only I had that job, if only I had that education, if only I had that significant other that cared about me, that loved me, if only I lived in a beautiful place, if only, right? We all have our if onlys. Well, I had all my if onlys. Literally all of them staring at me in my face. And I could not figure out why I felt so miserable about myself, about life, thinking of all the things, of all the roads I'd traveled. Here I am. Why am I not happy? And at this point in my life, I'm gonna go look in the mirror first and ask that guy, what part do you have to play in this? What have you been doing? What have you been saying? What haven't you been saying? What haven't you been doing? So this is called accountability. Like I said, if I'm the author of my own life, I'm the one with the I'm the one writing the script, not someone else. So I started looking at what I do, my occupation, my hobbies, gardening, having chickens and goats. I played the banjo, not so well that I'm on a stage getting paid. Things like that. Beliefs, expectations about myself and the world and people around me. And I, like I said in the previous video, I traced everything back to somebody else who I inherited the conversation from because I respected them. I saw how they were with that particular occupation or hobby, or how much joy it brought them, or attention, or any of that. But yet none of it was me. And then I came to the conclusion that that's not who I am. It's what I do. It's what I am. It's the bumper sticker on my car. It's the T-shirt. It's the whatever. It's the physical manifestation. But then I was left with, well, who am I? I wrestled with that for a couple months, it seemed like, walking up and down my country road, trying to flesh it out of my mind. And then I came to the conclusion of the 4-year-old, the pre-inherited conversation. And from that point on, I didn't discard what I am or make it wrong. I just took it all and I put it into the passenger seat of my life. And I put my hand on the wheel. Who I am, I don't know who I am, but I'm not that. All of that can be changed. Like I said, I can't really change my skin color. I can change my sexuality through, operations and all of that. But you see what I'm saying, right? Hopefully. So who we are, who I am, is human. But we have collapsed that onto like a mammal. Who we are mammals. But what we are as mammals are a Republican heterosexual man. Whatever. Any references I make to politics or religion are just me throwing that out there. I'm not identifying with any of them, which I don't. No more. No more. I'll put myself in a box, potentially close the lid and think I call that freedom, call that direction. That's called being in a box with the lid shut in the dark with no other choice but to be in the box. No. No, 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 no. So I find myself in a 3 year journey being able to navigate now with other human beings who may be nothing like me in contrast to my what's, but in our essence, we're human. And now I can go around into the world and look at another human and see a 4 year old. I'm a 4 year old. They're a 4 year old man, woman, don't care how old they are. And I see them as that 4 year old, that curious 4 year old, pre inherited conversation. And that has become one of the most liberating discoveries I have made as a human being. Because all of that illusionary what's that you need to defend. You say I come in and say something about your religion or your politics or your clothes or your house or anything that you have as your identity. Well, why wouldn't you be defensive? Why wouldn't you feel like you needed to protect yourself? Because you have decided that that's who you are. That's your identity. Well, look around the world. How's that working out? This has been going on for thousands of years. Well, it's 2025, the world of technology and the world that's just speeding, computer technology, other technology, right? It makes our lives safer and faster and easier and all of that. We're living in 2025 now. Not 1925, not 1965, not the year 25. What do? Where does peace come from? Where does tranquility? Where does inclusiveness come from? Well, it depends on the source. All the upsets, all of the unknowns, all of the perceived threats and unknowables. What happened to us embracing the unknown rather than running away from it? Putting ourselves in a box and shutting the lid. Why else are we here? Well, why I'm here is to untangle that knot and show the freedom within. Not to make what got us here wrong. Don't make the people wrong, the inherited conversations wrong, the failures, the successes. Don't make any of it wrong, because it's what got you and me here. But what got us here doesn't by default have to be what continues us forward. And don't fall for the old generational guilt trip. If your grandpa was alive today, he'd roll over in his grave. Or no. He's rolling over, and thank God your grandpa's not alive today. I'll be rolling around or rolling over in his grave. Well, you know what? I love my grandpa and grandmother and both of my sets of grandparents, but they had their turn. They did what they did. And I don't have to continue on with anything that they ever said and did. Not because I'm making them wrong, because that's what they did. And that's what they said. And that's the rub. Do you want to live your own life? Or are you just carrying on with what someone else said and told you to do? This is where we've gotten ourselves in trouble as humans, where we don't want to be accountable for what we say and do. We want to hand it over to some larger entity or group so we can point at them. I was just doing what they told me to do. Well, there's your issue right there. Why don't you start determining what you're going to say and do, and watch your life transform? Watch the lives of the people around you transform. It's not easy. It's not impossible. You just have to choose your way. Choose it. This life we have is sweet, sweet freedom. It's a gift. Stop running away from it. You can't run away from yourself, your shadow, because wherever you go, there you'll be. Then what? Coming from someone who has tried to outrun their shadow and have just come to the conclusion that why am I running away from myself? What is it that I'm running away from? I can include everything about myself as a human being because it all got me here. Pulling it apart, the who and the what, not making this wrong, not making that wrong. There's no light, there's no day without night, there's no left without right, there's no up without down. We live in a world of comparison. What are we comparing anything to? Why would we think that anything has any more or less value than anything else or anyone else? Because of our inherited conversation. Until next time,